Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm smirking because every single day, I kid you not, every day, the Facebook startup is different. Sometimes I get a countdown, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a flip screen, sometimes it's not. So I'm assuming that this is my opportunity to learn flexibility. So, welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's Kick-Ass Coach and Psychologist, and today we have a lovely card with one of my favorite creatures ever on it. But first we're going to start with the card deck, which is the Wild Offerings deck by Tosha Silver. Welcome to whomever just popped on. Glad you're here. And the artwork on these are by Katie Daisy. And I think a little setup for this card would be good. So, many of us are kind of plodding along through this COVID thing and other various trials and tribulations, and sometimes I think we wonder, to what end? What's the point of all this? Is there something I'm meant to be learning here, etc.? And the card kind of addresses that, but I want to give a bigger context for those questions. We often reference things in terms of our lifespan. 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, however long we hang around this planet, right? In terms of the universe, that's a speck, a tiny little speck. When we are feeling impatient, when we're struggling with something, if we can expand out of our human perspective of the 80, 90, 100 years and into a more universal perspective, it can make us feel a little more tolerant of the pace at which things unfold. Welcome to whomever else just joined. Glad you're here. Sarah, glad you're here, glad you're here. So, perspective is everything with regard to our word for today, which is patience. You see the little bee on the top? I love that little bee. Bees are one of my favorite creatures. So, and we're rapidly approaching May. No more May. See if you can leave your lawn alone until June, because the dandelions that grow, hopefully you don't use chemicals to get rid of them, the dandelions that grow are vital bee food for the beginning part of the summer. So once June rolls around and there's other things for them to feed on, rock on. Oh, good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Wonder where Diane is today. Usually she pops on pretty early. Oh, I forgot to show you the back of the card, which is Ganesh, just because I think he's so awesome. There we are. Ganesh the elephant. All right, so patience. Patience is our word, and that's a lovely word for a Monday, as most of us are walking into our work week and can probably use a little bit of patience. So let's see what we get. Nice deep breaths. Settling in right here, right now. Ready to receive. And you keep breathing. I will too, but I'm not going to be as dramatic about my breathing as you guys can be. All right? Patience. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now. Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. So let's go back to that first part. If you have tried to shift a problem, work it over, make some changes, whatever, and it's not budging, it might be a wise thing to say, what do you have to teach me? What am I meant to learn from you? View it as a companion on your life path at this point in time. Doesn't mean it's going to be with you forever, but it's walking this part of the path for you. Let's say it's financial difficulties or relationship difficulties or work difficulties. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. So again, it doesn't have to mean you love this thing, but it can mean that you try to meet it where it's at. Okay, what do you have for me? What do you have to teach me? So let's just do a little foray into that. I want you to close your eyes, not if you're driving. A couple of breaths. And just settling into that still inner place where we often go on these YEMIGs the still inner place where wisdom resides, your true self resides. Just breathing into that, kind of opening that up with your breath. And I want you to be there in that still inner place where wisdom resides. And I want you to pose your question to wisdom. This thing that's been dogging me forever, this problem, what am I meant to learn from it? And then just sit in silence and observe with all of your senses. And usually by the time you get to that third breath, an inkling of something has presented itself. It might be a thought, might be a knowingness, might be a word, might be an image, whatever comes to you. Good morning, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. We are just checking in with our inner wisdom about a problem that we have. That if we've tried to fix that problem for a long time and it hasn't budged, acknowledging that there's probably something yet to be learned from that. A lesson, several lessons, etc. But right at this moment, we're in that quiet, still space within, open to receiving the lesson. Because the same way when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student has the lesson, the teacher can move on. The teacher can move on. So, this thing that's been dogging you, what else are you meant to learn from it? What does it want you to know? Just sit with that for a moment. 3 breaths. And even if you don't feel like you've totally gotten an answer, I'm certain you've gotten some inklings, whether you're willing to pay attention to them or not. But know that even by posing the question, you have opened a door. You've opened a door to receiving your answers. Your teacher, the wisdom, and then whatever this thing is, can likely either move on or your whole perspective of it will have changed to the point where it isn't bothering you, troubling you, creating difficulty the way it has been. Doesn't that sound lovely? Again, we are really literally the masters of our universe if we choose to act with this wisdom. It's all there for us. Are we ready to receive it? Are we ready to receive it? So think about a bee. I'm going to show you the card again with that little bee at the top. Think about that bee. All season long, working to create home and food, etc. And very diligent about the work. We can be diligent about our work. What is it you want me to know? And you can avail yourself of this anytime. You could be driving along and have the thought, I'm really still pissed off with my sister-in-law. We just don't get along. Okay, there's an opportunity. I'm going to breathe on that. I'm going to see what comes up. I'm going to see what messages I get in terms of what could be different. What could be different in my thoughts about my circumstances with my sister-in-law? Just being creative, being open, being willing to try new things, and notice what happens. Paying attention to what messages am I getting about this particular relationship, situation, circumstance, etc. Patience. So I'm going to read the card again. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now. Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. Often change soon follows. We have the ability to create these changes in our lives. Okay? So that's what I'd like you to think about. Let me see. If any of you would like to receive the early morning intuitive guidance in an email, just put yes in. Actually, it's best if you send it to my email so then I have your email to add you to the list. It's bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com. Also, if you want to know what kinds of things I have going on, right now we have a moon ceremony coming up tomorrow. Let me flip my page over here. Nope, we don't either. That's the week after. Sorry. Where is my moon ceremony? There it is. Friday, April 1st. We're doing it on a Friday because I had a conflict on Tuesday. But if you haven't done our moon ceremonies, try one. We may end up taking a short break just as I relocate, etc. But if you haven't done our moon ceremonies, please try one because they are awesome. And then April 3rd, I have Empowerment Rising, which is entitled Developing and Keeping Kick-Ass Faith and Trust, which fits right in with our patience card. Yep. Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Help me relax and trust, faith and trust. So if you'd like to do a little work on developing that, that would be on April 3rd. You can find both of those under the events tab on my, either on this Facebook page or on my website, which is empowermentandpurpose.com. So, have an awesome Monday. For those of you in the Yoop, we are supposedly getting some weather over the next 3-4 days. So, if you haven't gotten your groceries or scooped the poop out of your backyard, now's the time. Because a little later today, it's supposed to start getting sketchy. So, have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far, far, far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.